Hello ladies and gentlemen, Nick here. Welcome to another unboxing. This time it is for another Doctor Who thing, but it's not a DVD or Blu-ray. This time it is back to audio related content for this parcel, which I've cut a little bit off here because there was the address stick and only got part of it taken off, and the part on the sticker is on the tape got stuck on it, so I just cut that bit off to remove it, even though the side on the left was the more personal side, which was more important to get off. But I've taken the whole thing off, so the only thing that's been cut so far is that piece of the tape with the label on. But now we're going to start the unboxing properly, because I have an idea of what this is going to be, and I thought it'd be a special unboxing if I did. So, starting off with the sellotape. It is a slightly bigger box, so I apologise if you can't always see the entire thing, but once we get the contents unloaded, you will see what's inside. This is coming from courtesy of Big Finish Productions. This is, of course, gotta get it out of here somehow. Right, where's the end? When in doubt, doesn't look like I'm going to be reusing this box anyway. It is Doctor Who, the Sirens of Time Redux. This is the gold edition. I was a bit late to get the platinum edition, which I can't remember off the top of my head what's included in each edition. The bronze edition is download only. I think the silver edition is CD and download. I think gold is CD download and cassette tape. And then I think platinum maybe comes with some art cards and something. I might maybe either film a bit reading off the specific things later, or I'll add it in text form in editing, one of those two. I'll cut to one of those in a second, and then we'll carry on. So, cutting now. So, according to the Big Finish website, the bronze edition of the Sirens of Time Redux is download. The CD edition is download and CD, and apparently is sold out. It was limited only to 1,000 copies, whilst the silver edition is download, so it's limitless. But the CD surprisingly is sold out, and it's been 1,000 copies, and it's already sold out at time of filming, which is on the Monday the 9th of December 2024. I think that's a surprise. The gold edition, which is CD, download and cassette, is limited to 150 copies, so I was able to grab that just in the nick of time, and is now entirely sold out, so purchased that. I got that in June. Not very long after Big Finish Day, when they announced it on the 8th of that month. And then finally the Platinum Edition, which was sold out at the time when I purchased it, was only limited to 100 editions, 100 copies, and that's sold out. And that would have included prints, so some prints in there. Comes with photos from the recording session, so prints of the pictures, which I guess is the ones they had in the cassette tape as well. So I think it was about 1,250 copies of the CD that must have been printed, and 250 of the cassette tape to produce the 1,000 silver editions, 150 gold editions, and 100 platinum editions, but which were all sold out again by the time I purchased the the gold edition, the next best one. Got to have that cassette with included with that. But yeah, it's now download only at time of recording. Maybe you'll be able to get it second hand from eBay or something, but it'll probably be very pricey even for the silver edition, let alone the other two. But good luck if you can. The older ones are also going to be pretty pricey if you try and find those elsewhere. Yeah, good luck in trying to find them. Otherwise, download option with the bronze edition is still available. Anyway, back to me to continue the unboxing. Okay, welcome back after that. So, let us get inside the Sirens of Time Gold Edition. I know it's the gold one because that, like I said, I missed out on the platinum one, but I was able to get the gold one before it came out. They were limited to a certain number of copies, I think. Here's the box. Doctor Who 2020, well, it's technically 2022 logo, even though the first episodes it was used on was 23, but they showed off the new logo and a teaser at the end after the Power of the Doctor finished, just a couple of seconds afterwards, or something to tease the 60th anniversary specials coming the next year. So technically it's the 22 logo, you can argue 23. That's the non-diamond logo, as is with BBC, the Sirens of Time Redux on it. Same here, and Big Finish Productions, and same without Big Finish here. Nothing on that bit, and that bit's just got the copyright stuff at the bottom that's required on all officially licensed BBC or licensed by BBC property stuff like Big Finish, Titan products. Opening it up, we have a nice inside of the box with the 3 Doctors who appear in this story, the 5th, 6th and 7th Doctors, who also appear on this bit. For those of you who do not know, the Sirens of Time was indeed Big Finish Productions' first Doctor Who radio/audio play. I actually have a copy of the original version on CD in a box somewhere. I'll show it off later as well. In fact, I shall cut to that cutaway. So this is what the original CD release, or at the very least the 2001 edition, was like. I believe I got it signed by Nick Briggs at Big Finish Day, which I mentioned where they announced this Redux, and I pre-ordered the gold edition a few days afterwards. Some of the CDs I bought from eBay, because I bought this one from eBay, do come signed, pre-signed by other people, but this is one of the ones that I think I took to Big Finish Day to get signed, and I got signed by Nick Briggs himself, and it comes with a booklet. So yeah, this bit down here is Nick Briggs' introduction. It says it's from January 2001, so making me either think that either the CD started coming out in late 2000, early 2001, and they released the older ones on CD as they went, or they reprinted it to include some more of the releases listed for both Doctor Who and Bernie Summerfield, as well as also some BBC books being advertised as well. But also on the inside you've got some black and white pictures of the recording, including one from the new booklet and some more in the cassette tape. And then, funnily enough, some like Radio Times clippings. That they did this for a bit in the older releases. They did Radio Times-esque clippings for the individual episodes. And then what comes on the discs, introduction and some production credits. Oops. And then there's the cover again on the back. Looks nice. And then disc 1 is episodes 1 and 2, and disc 2 is episodes 3 and 4. And then on the back is the description they had at the time, plus bonus stuff. And yeah, it does mention the story is 1999, unless maybe this is a reissue with the new booklet, or the new introduction on the booklet. Also, this is the Doctor Who magazine initially exclusive. I got this on eBay as well, and it's also free to download on the Big Finish website. which is the behind the scenes of the Sirens of Time. I think you can get it as a bonus with the original releases download, and or you can get it download individually as well. But yeah, it's basically it's a Doctor Who magazine exclusive about the bonus features for Sirens of Time. It's basically a third disc for Sirens of Time if you can get both together. If you're lucky enough, you could possibly find both on eBay. Hopefully for a decent price. This one probably will be. Unless it's so rare you can hardly find it. But yeah, that's the spine, number 1 for the monthly range. And yeah, normal CD case for this. So yeah, that's what the original looked like. Back to me to continue with the unboxing. And earlier this year they confirmed that they were going to be redoing the edit of that story from the original version was 4 parts, like a classic series story, roughly about 25 to 30 minutes each. And what it was the first episode was with the 7th Doctor, the second episode was with the 5th, the 3rd with the 6th, and then the 4th episode they all came together, and it was part of a interlocking story told across the 4 episodes. Future stories would be the usual standard 4, sometimes other parts length stories that the classic series would do, but in this case it was 3 not separate stories, but 3 connected stories that converged into the 4th episode. 3 individual episodes for each Doctor, well, 1 each Doctor, and then they all teamed up in the last episode, and where it all came together in a way. This Redux is apparently going to be one longer edit that re-edits the story. I think instead of 1 episode for each Doctor, the 3 storylines are going to be intercut together simultaneously. Like you'll have scenes with the 5th Doctor, scenes with the 6th Doctor, scenes with the 7th Doctor, whilst they're interconnecting stories. Their own stories are edited alongside each other as opposed to separate episodes. I believe that's the thing, and then it will tie in later on. So the events will be of each episode will play alongside each other before converging to later on. I think that's what's going to be the case with this story, or this re-edit story, plus new music and maybe some re-edited scenes as well. It's a couple of updates, some new sound effects, because the first one was released in July 1999, so this is like a 25th anniversary edition of that release, which will be interesting to listen to. Now, just going to take off the tissue paper on the inside, and already I can see the CD box set, which is going to contain this. Maybe it's going to be like 2 longer episodes then, like maybe 2 hour-long episodes, or 2 50-minute long episodes, and then they'll have bonus features on a 3rd disc, perhaps, or something, instead of the previous one where it was 4 half-hour episodes, 25-minute episodes. And I think they released the interviews on a separate free CD, and later, which was also able to be downloaded as well, talking about My Regeneration, which I've also purchased. I got both from eBay a few years ago. So if I take this out, I think this is that cassette tape version I mentioned, because I think they started releasing them on cassette tape first, and then they brought in the CDs not very long later, because the CD I've got has the introduction by Nick Briggs from 2001, actually, January 2001, so I think they must have started doing CD releases, if not at the same time as the cassette tapes in 99, then maybe 2000, 2001, or maybe they reissued it on CD a little bit later on down the line when more stories had come out. But yeah, they did have cassette versions as well, cassette tapes, and then downloads would become a thing later on down the line. And now download is the primary distribution of the stories now, and CD is now the secondary one. In fact, CD cases like what the original Sirens of Time would have come out now, or even box sets like this current one, are considered, well, the box set without the cassette tape or the other bells and whistles of the gold and platinum editions. If it was just the CD as well as the download. So basically the silver edition, I guess. Even just like a normal CD box set or 1 or 2 disc CD is considered a special edition CD release rather than a regular CD release. I mean, it's not like the Legacy of Time or Mastermind box sets, or even the Once and Future limited edition releases, which are special edition CD sets or releases. They're saying special edition CD releases for all of them now, even though it is still the typical CD releases. But whatever. We'll get to in here in a bit, because that's what makes the gold edition and the platinum edition as well special, but the platinum edition has an extra bit of bells and whistles, which is not included here. So here is the CD box set, Doctor Who: The Sirens of Time Redux, number 1. I'm not sure if that's to mention it's number 1 of Doctor Who: The Sirens of Time. The Sirens of Time was the first release of the monthly range, full stop, and this is the new number 1 in the collection, or if they're going to do any more Reduxes and this is number 1 of that. It could probably go either way. Could even be for both if they do more Reduxes. And then on the back it's like that. So The Sirens of Time Redux by Nicholas Briggs, starring Peter Davison, Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy, featuring Sarah Mowat and Mark Gatiss, who I believe plays some German characters, or a German character in the original version. It was the 5th Doctor episode. Gallifrey is in a state of crisis, facing destruction at the hands of an overwhelming enemy, and the Doctor is involved in 3 different incarnations, each caught up in a deadly adventure scattered across time and space, which in the original version was the 3 individual episodes per 1 for each Doctor. The web of time is threatened and someone wants the Doctor dead. The 3 incarnations of the Doctor must join together to set time back on the right track. But in doing so, will they unleash a still greater threat? And again, that last bit would be more of the final episode events, but for this re-edit, they merged those first 3 storylines together to make it more cohesively narratively cohesive, apparently. But the 4th one probably wouldn't be terribly much different outside of some updates. Presumably, I think they'll hopefully, I haven't heard it yet, but hopefully they will explain how the 5th and 7th Doctors got out of their cliffhanger situations and show them arriving at where they are at the start of what was Part 4 in the original. We saw it with the 6th Doctor, because it was directly leading on from Part 3, which is his episode. But the 7th and 5th Doctors, not so much. So, hopefully, with this version being a bit more, maybe 2 50-minute episodes or something along those lines, they'll be able to tie it in a bit, and with the restructure of the episodes, it will be a bit easier to see how the 7th and 5th Doctors escaped their original episodes cliffhangers and arrived at the start of Part 4 at where they were in that. And directed by Nicholas Briggs, so he wrote and directed this first episode, as well as voiced the character, the Temperon, which I believe must have been his first Big Finish voice character role, apart from maybe some supporting characters in this episode, this story as well. He would not be voicing the Daleks until the Genocide Machine, which I believe was the 7th release in the monthly range. But it wouldn't take them very long to get round to making more Dalek stories in the monthly range. I think as soon as they got the license to do the Daleks, they did the first Dalek story for each of the 3 Doctors pretty quickly, within a few months of each other, because number 11, the Apocalypse Element, was the 6th Doctor's one, the Genocide Machine was 7's, and then number 15, the Mutant Phase, was the 5th Doctor's. All of them released in 2000. And then Time of the Daleks, the next one, was the 8th Doctor's first Dalek story. That one was released in the middle of 2002, I believe. Personal opinions, the best of those 4 is the Apocalypse Element with the 6th Doctor, and the weakest is possibly Time of the Daleks with the 8th Doctor. Although Mutant Phase is the cut down version, was the first Big Finish story I heard. So here is the CD now unwrapped, and here is the top bit, BBC Doctor Who, The Sirens of Time cover, with the pictures shown in the inside, and end of the case, and also inside the box is the logo again. Back is all of the copyright legal stuff. Back, which I've just read off, spine, which looks really nice, and there's the other spine. So there's the other side of the box. Let's put that to one side. I'll put this over to the side as well. And let's open up the Sirens of Time Redux. Now, I usually put CDs in like this way. It's the same with DVD cases, but for the purposes of this unboxing, I'll leave it like that for now. So that's how the cover comes in the dual, looks like 3-disc case. The running time is 128 minutes. Ah, yes, it's 3 times CD. So I think it's going to be about an hour to an hour and 10 minutes of the story on each of the first 2 discs, and then the third one is the bonus features, and it will be updated bonus features specifically to the Redux, not to the original. Okay, so we have disc number 1, and if we take that out, we have the alternate cover, which I will take out and swap round later, but it does look more like how the cover, or at least the logo and the text, how it looked on those first couple of releases back from 1999 for a few years, with the 1996 8th Doctor logo, but the version of the text is much more in line for those first couple of releases, those first few years, including having a bit of a black strip at the bottom saying an original audio drama starring Peter Davison, Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy. And it has, apart from the Redux bit, which is the same type of text as on the 2024 release, with the 2022 logo, it's the same normal text, but the rest of it is supposed to invoke the 1999 style cover, but with the modern picture. So I will swap that around later. But that's disc 1, which is parts 1 and 2. Okay, so maybe they just combine parts 1, 2, and 3. What they used to be. The episode, they still run the event simultaneously, but then they'll re-edit the different. But then they'll re-edit it. But then they'll have different points where they cut it off again. I'm not sure. I don't think they are just updating the original 3 episodes. The original 4 episodes. Sorry. I think they are sort of tying in. I don't think they are just updating the original 4 episodes. I think they are re-editing the first 3 to form a more simultaneous narrative between the 3 Doctors, but still presenting it as a 4-part story in a way. Then disc 2 is parts 3 and 4, and then disc 3 is the bonus disc behind the scenes, and on the back we have another picture of the cover art. I wonder if the Platinum Edition's other bonus art thing is like a postcard or a poster of this cover art. Maybe the original cover art as well, because they only seem to have done one piece of new artwork for this release. Okay, so this is the 4-page booklet. The booklet pages have been going down. The original release was like 16, maybe 12 or 16, then they went to 8, and then it's now down to 4. But it's got the cover picture, the inside with the recording credits, and some pictures. I think that's a picture from the original recording, which is nice. And then the cast. Yes, Mark Gatiss was one of the Germans, and also one of the Knights as well. So he did some supporting characters. Also, fun fact: this audio features the first audio appearance of a character called Coordinator Vansil, who is an important character in the last episode of the 8th Doctor's second audio series in the story Neverland, the last of the 8th Doctor's second run of stories. But it also appears that he is an important character in the Doctor's backstory as far as one of the Virgin New Adventures, was it, I believe, or BBC Books novels with the Toymaker implied, written by Gary Russell, which makes sense because he's the producer of this series, and I think he might have co-wrote Neverland. So Vansel is a significant figure in the Doctor's past, according to that book. I'll put the name up in text, but it's the one that features the Fifth Doctor meeting the Toymaker and is able to free two of his former friends from the Academy from his grasp. There is a really informative video about the Decca and the members of the Decca by Warborough Holmes, which goes into detail about this, as well as his Toymaker video that both of them he did last year, that go into detail on that book and related to not so much the book, it's the story of the book itself, but how it relates to the Doctor's past and the Toymaker. So I do recommend those videos, especially the one about the Doctor. The Doctor's past that you never knew is the name of the one about the Decca. It's possibly my favourite video of his, maybe even the best one he's done outside of maybe some of his video essays. But yeah, that seems to be the race so far. Like I said, I'm going to swap that cover round in a moment. But yeah, but before we do, we've got one more thing to look at, and that is the reason this is the gold edition. Like I said, if I got the silver edition, it probably would just be this. Maybe it would have come in the nice box, but not quite sure. And the bronze one would just be the download version. All the audios you get on CD, you can get download versions for free, except for Real Time and Sharda from the bonus ranges. For some reason, they're the only ones, as far as I'm aware, that don't have download versions of their CDs. It's CD only for those two, which hopefully means they're going to be staying in stock for a bit longer, because if they're not going to get download editions anytime soon, then hopefully their CDs are staying in stock for a few more years. So this bronze edition would be the download only, I believe. Then the silver edition is the CD, and then that the gold and platinum ones would have the download as free because it comes with the CD. The gold one has this cassette tape, as it's supposed to be, which we will take a look in a moment, and then platinum should have some maybe art cards or poster or art, something, whatever I mentioned in that cutaway. So, let's take a look at the cassette tape. So, here we go. It's in the, looks like there's a slipcase around it. This could have been how it was originally presented. It's a slipcase around it. Same information on the back. And you know what? If vinyl and records are coming back into fashion, why not cassette tapes? I used to like listening to some cassette tapes at my nan's house back when we were little, and some old records as well. They had a record and tape players, and we had a tape player at home. I think we still have it, and or VHS player in the garage, perhaps. Take off. So this is like the slipcase for the CDs, CD box sets, but it's really cool. And then you get the cover art, and yeah, that looks really good. Yeah, I forgot how good cassette tapes look, even though there's more bulk and probably take up more space than the CDs do, much like how VHSs did with DVDs. Now we need videotapes to come back into fashion as well. So taking up side A is likely episode 1 and B episode 2 for the first tape. And then on the inside you've got the copyright stuff, yada yada. And then the cast. Oh, and there's a couple more pictures in here. Nice. So I'll put that back in there. Not a double-sided cover, of course. That's alright. And then opening up side 2. And you get the second cassette with side C and side D, which must be episodes 3 and 4. And then more information on the back, dedicated to everyone who was involved with the AVs, we couldn't have done it without you. And then more information on the back. Is that actually mentioned on the booklet on the inside of the CD? But yeah, more information there, and then the back. So that's nice. Actually, if they do more Redux editions, and they do gold platinum editions of these, I hope they do more of them, or they do more cassette tape editions of other ones. Other stories. They've done vinyl editions for other stories. Not this one. If they did a vinyl for the Sirens of Time Redux, that would probably be the diamond. Actually, what is the platinum edition would probably be the diamond edition, and then the vinyl one would be the platinum one, or vice versa. They did the vinyl on the diamond one, and then alongside CD, cassette and download, and then platinum would be all of the above plus those aforementioned art or poster stuff. So yeah, that is pretty damn awesome. These two stuff, and a really nice box to keep them with. And for the Platinum Edition ones, there's probably space for the other bits in there as well to go on top as well. I'm just going to check inside the booklet about that dedication, and also I'll change that cover round. So I'll cut to having turned the cover round to the 1999 style cover from the 2024 style cover in a moment. Ah yes, there is a dedication down at the bottom as well on one side of the booklet. So we have to be careful when taking out these things when changing the covers over, because it's easy to break them. And there we go, that's the 2024 cover on the inside now. Let's put disc 1 back in, not just the disc but the holder as well. If we take that off and place it where the booklet would go, or another disc if it was a 4-disc set, then we have the cover as it is with the disc holder over it, and then the 1999 cover. I do like swapping the covers around, it's really nice for them to be fitting a particular Doctor, or in the case of this and the end of the beginning release, the last monthly range audio from 2001, to hark back to the very first style of CD covers from 1999. Or at the very least, end of the beginning, maybe more 8th Doctor style of that time. Interestingly, the 8th Doctor seems to be the only one who doesn't seem to be swapping covers round at the moment, even though they did for a bit. And some of the other Doctors didn't, but they do now, so I don't know what's going on with that. But either way, this CD that I now have will have the 1999 edition cover, or 1999 style cover on at the front instead of the 2024 one. But the cassette tape will have that version because there is no side 2 of the cover. Also, the slipcases will still have this logo version, plus as the discs will. It's just for the inside cover. So yeah, that's about it from this unboxing. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and continue to support Big Finish Productions when and where possible. And yeah, these are really great releases. Those who got the Platinum releases, you guys must be really happy because you got extra stuff included as well. But if you only got the Silver or Bronze editions, well, you still got a pretty nice release. Full stop anyway. Even if you didn't come with a box, I mean, Silver guys, let me know if you got a box with the CD included as well. I don't know if it's just Gold and Platinum who got them, but if you got the box, this special box with the CD inside, like how mine came, but with the cassette and the Platinum's one with the cassette and their art stuff, then yeah, please let me know. Bronze, I know it's just download. Unless it says otherwise. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this unboxing, and I shall see you guys next time. Goodbye. Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the Nicholas Payne YouTube channel. And I'll probably cut to either one of those two now, and then resume. Well, no. And I think they released the individual. In fact, basically the bronze edition. Bronze is gold. Genocide Museum, Genocide Machine, not Museum. The Genocide Museum. No, Machine, not Muse. All of them released in the middle to late, and then the following Dalek story, the time of the. So my guess is it's about an hour to an hour and 5 to 10 minutes per disc for the first 2 discs, and then the third one is bonus features. Embarrassingly, I just started while saying that, so I'll do that take again. As well. Also, fun fact, this story features the first audio appearance, I believe, of fuck me. I can't remember his name. I'll put the name up on text, like Past Lives or something. No, that was an audio. So actually, which you get free with all CD purchases, all the CD. And then, like I said, this edition and the Platinum edition comes with this extra gift. And then the Silver edition comes with the CD plus the free. So the Silver edition would be the CD and the free download. So the download would be free with the Silver bronze. So according to the Big Finish website, the Sirens of Time Redux Bronze Edition is the download version. I think that's so I think that's 150. So that's 300. That's 250 and 100. 150. So yeah, this bit down here is Nick Briggs' introduction. Damn it. I believe it's also free on, or that it comes free as part of another release as well. Maybe